In today's Wellness Wednesday, traumatic brain injuries, or TBI, they impact people all over the world, including right here in Idaho. And data shows children and seniors are at the greatest risk for these injuries, but in many cases they are preventable. So joining me now with some tips, Regence Executive Medical Director, Dr. Daniel Meltzer. Hello, doctor. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
Thanks so much for getting up early and talking about TBIs. Now, for people who might not know, what is that a little bit more specifically, and what causes it?
Traumatic brain injuries has a scary ring to it, and anytime we're talking about the brain, we certainly need to be very careful. Traumatic brain injury really is caused typically by blunt trauma to the head that can result in disruption of the normal function of the brain, things like thinking or speaking, movement, and memory. And as we just heard, this time of the year, it's particularly relevant. It's nice outside, people are outdoors, so we do see typically an uptick in these kinds of injuries. We tend to classify these kinds of injuries really in three ways: mild, moderate, severe. So mild, we can think of these brief injuries like a concussion, a quick blow to the head. Symptoms last a few seconds, blacking out, seeing stars. More moderate traumatic brain injuries tend to have symptoms that last longer, things like headache or nausea, difficulty with memory. And then the most severe traumatic brain injuries really are where the brain has sustained a significant injury, often with long-term implications, things like thinking, inability to think, move, or even be conscious itself.
Yeah, and so, okay, we're talking about kids and we're talking about seniors. I imagine with kids, and you can correct me, but we're talking contact sports maybe, so you're playing some, some football. That's what I think of when I think of TBI. But then with the older folks, I mean, they're probably not out there playing football. Probably not. Right. So you're seeing, different causes there.
Lots of different causes. All of us that are parents know that kids are particularly active. So you're absolutely right. The typical activities that they love to do and explore, whether it's climbing a tree, riding a bicycle, or playing sports, the nature of these activities can put children in particular at higher risk for traumatic brain injury. And as we age, particularly as we get older, we do have challenges sometimes with things like gait or how we walk, things like balance and medications that we may be taking as we age, all of which put us, as we get older, at higher risk for traumatic brain injury should we sustain a fall.
Yeah, and then, those falls can be they don't sound very serious. When you're a kid, you fall, you get back up. But I mean, the older you get, I mean, that is a very big deal. So if that happens, what are some of the symptoms that you're going to watch for? And are they the same in kids versus some of these older adults?
One of the challenges with children in particular, younger children, think toddlers, think infants, is they can't necessarily tell you and won't tell you that they fell, and they won't tell you that they have symptoms. So as parents and or as caregivers with young children in particular, it's important that we examine them, look at them, check their scalps. Certainly in young children, if there are signs of lethargy, they're additionally sleepy, or they're vomiting, those are signs in younger children that they may have sustained a traumatic brain injury. Similarly, in older adults, we see similar symptoms such as headache. Again, older adults typically will tell us that they have a headache, but there can be change in consciousness, there can be pain, there can be change in movement, change in memory. So those are some, or even nausea and vomiting sometimes we'll see, not infrequently with older adults that have sustained traumatic brain injuries. The particular population that we worry about as well as people age is those that are on blood thinning medications due to the risk of bleeding in or around the brain.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, just want to protect it at all costs. So what can people do for more information? Of course, some of these contact sports, or even just riding a bike, get the helmet on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, helmets are so critical for all of us, young, medium, and older. They need to be well-fitting. They need to be A-worn and B strapped in. Certainly wearing seatbelts. We were talking about cars earlier during the weather segment, so it's important that we wear our seatbelts to minimize the risk of head injury for all age groups. For older adults in particular, talk to your doctor, get an annual evaluation. If you think you're at increased risk for falling, get your eyes checked to make sure that you can see correctly, and make sure that your home is safer as we get older. Be careful of trip hazards. Install rails or railings or ramps where needed. And certainly local physicians, local providers provide good information. There's lots of medical resources online, such as those from the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins, all have extensive resources about closed head injuries or traumatic brain injuries.
Doctor, thank you so much. And great information there and great resources if you need more information. But thank you again for joining us on our Wellness Wednesday. And we'll take a live look outside now.